to the moon and back. Now that is definitely not the moon, but it's the ocean. Now you guys are thinking, what's like the moon and the ocean have to do with each other? Absolutely nothing. You're correct. But we don't know anything about the ocean. We don't know anything about the moon. Now, prospectively, we kind of do. We've been there, here and there. We've been around the moon. We've had a guy land on the moon, put a flag, America, right? Next slide. So what we know. We don't know anything, like I said, and we've only explored about 5 to 7% of the ocean floors. Now, 5 to 7% of the ocean floors. Who here knows how much of the earth is covered in water?
75%.
Wrong. Okay? 70%. Close. So 70% of the world is covered in water. 70% of the world. So how many people have traveled everywhere in America? No one. So a little redundancies here, but I'm just trying for you guys to get the scope of all of this. So 5 to 7% of the ocean floors. Now we've explored the ocean, we know we've mapped it out, but the actual depths of the ocean, with either man or some type of submersible vehicle exploring the depths of the ocean, only 5 to 7%. So more people have been to the moon, in space, than the bottom of the ocean. 536 people as of March 10th, March 10th of this year, 2013, March 10th, 2013, the number was 536. I didn't go back and try to find any updates, but that was the most recent number. So 2 people have been to the very depths of the ocean. Can anyone tell me what the very bottom, where it's at, and what the very bottom's called? The very bottom of the ocean, very depths. Marianas Trench. Okay, you're in the right area, the very, very bottom. Does anyone know what it's called? The ocean floor. Wrong. It's called Challenger's Deep. Okay, so only 2 people have been there. It was a Navy lieutenant, Don Walsh, and that guy. Don't know how to pronounce it. Jacques Picard. Okay? Is that how you say it? Jacques Picard. I don't have French, so I can't speak it. So they get into this rusty metal bucket, and the military's like, yeah, you're going to survive. This is going to be awesome. We're going to make you into heroes. I'm sure they tell everyone. And they go all the way down. It takes them hours upon hours. And it was actually how they used to create buoyancy. So for you guys who don't dive, there needs to be weight for them to take them all the way down and basically not weight to take them all the way back up. Well, they put aviation gas into the sub, these huge canisters all around it, so that they could sink all the way to the bottom. And Don Walsh goes on to explain how he's basically strapped to this huge atomic bomb going all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, where the pounds per square inch is over 15,000. And he comes back up, he's a hero. So only 2 people to the very bottom of the ocean. Next slide. So deepest part of the ocean. 35,800 feet, which is about 6.78 miles, which is not a distance I can run. So, how many miles to the moon? 238,855 miles. Now, my fiance always likes to send me texts and said, I would run to the moon and back. And then I did this calculation. I was like, 20 miles a day times, and I told her she couldn't do it, but she insisted that, even though it would take like 78 years, that she would still run to the moon and back for me. So, the very bottom of the ocean, Challenger's Deep, Marianas Trench, the pressure there is 15,750 pounds. Now, I can barely bench like 35 pounds. So to think about 15,750 pounds per square inch on my body, on anything, is just amazing. The amount of pressure. You got to think, have you ever had a friend 12 years old, you're in the backyard, and you're like sumo plex, and you're like, oh, I can't breathe. Well, that's probably only what, like 60 pounds? Yeah, not even close. Next slide. So ocean stuff. We love the ocean, right? So I love the ocean. I'm a diver, and I love exploring every part of the ocean. That's something real big to me. And something that we've talked about previously, and there's been speeches on it, Toastmaster, is the value of the ocean. We've put so much value on space and exploration, and that has to do with competition, maybe with Russia. But the ocean is really the lifeblood of our planet. 70% of the Earth has to be important. We have economy. 97% of the planet's water. So even though it's 90%, 97%. So more than half the oxygen in the atmosphere. Imagine if half the oxygen was just cut from you. I don't know what that would do, but it sounds bad. Probably go brain dead or something. Now, I've always lived near the water. I've lived in Washington State, West Coast, about 10 minutes from the water, and now we live in Charleston, 10 minutes from the water. So a huge amount of the population all lives next to the water. So a huge dense population, as you get less dense population, huge economy, a lot of benefits of the ocean. Next slide. So all that stuff about the ocean, not really what about my speech is about. Go to space, which is in the water, diving. Next. The final frontier. 5 reasons why you should, in the very near future, go diving. Number 1, scuba diving allows you to see the other 70% of the world. Even if you spent your whole entire life going to every place on the planet, you would only see 30%. Sad. So 70%. Next slide. Number 2, not what you're thinking. Okay? Get your mind out of the gutter. Diving allows us to travel to exotic locations. In Washington State, we have this place called the Puget Sound. And I've gone diving there near the Narrows Bridge, where they have the largest octopus of its kind. It's a giant octopus, very big, really cool. Next slide. Number 3, still not what you're thinking. Being underwater is the experience of being in space without the heavy price tag. So a price tag to space, not even to the moon, is $250,000. The price tag to get on a wetsuit, go down in the water, is less than 50 bucks if you're already trained. So next. Number 4, benefits to you for diving. Being a diver, you're taught a lot of important skills. Going underwater with basically this vacuum filled with air, breathing it, anything can go wrong. And usually you have a partner next to you. So for me, it gave me confidence. Confidence underwater, confidence swim, confidence in myself and my equipment and knowing what I was doing. Next slide. And 5, you will look awesome in all that cool gear, and you're going to put that picture on your Facebook, and then you're going to girlfriend. True fact, my girlfriend loves, my fiance now, loves when I'm all scubaed up and I'm looking all cool. And so I encourage you, go diving, get a picture. Girls will love you. The end. Thank you.